Long ago, in a land far away, where the sun warmed wide, open fields, people lived by the rhythms of nature. This was a time when farming was how most families provided for themselves. Daily life centered on tending to the earth, growing crops, and relying on the land for sustenance. It was a world of simple tools, dusty paths, and hard-working individuals who understood the value of a good harvest. In these ancient times, there were no banks as we know them today. When people had valuable possessions, like precious metals or jewels, they often buried them in the ground for safekeeping. Sometimes, they would bury these treasures in their fields or near their homes, hoping to retrieve them later. But if a family had to move suddenly, or if something unexpected happened, these hidden caches might be forgotten for generations, waiting to be rediscovered. Our story focuses on a farmer, a diligent and ordinary man who spent his days working the earth. He was skilled with his plow and hoe, familiar with the feel of the soil between his fingers, and knowledgeable about the seasons. Each morning, he would rise with the sun, eat a simple meal, and then head out to the fields, where he would labor until dusk. He was a man of routine, dedicated to his craft, providing for his family through his honest toil. On one particular day, the farmer was working in a field that did not belong to him. He was cultivating the land for its owner, turning over the soil in preparation for planting. It was a normal day, much like any other. The sun was warm, a gentle breeze rustled the nearby trees, and the familiar sounds of rural life filled the air. He was focused on his work, following the rows, his mind on the tasks of the day, as stable and familiar as the fields themselves. As he dug deeper into a section of the field, his hoe struck something unusually hard. Curious, he paused his work and began to carefully clear away the soil around the object. To his astonishment, he uncovered an old, earthenware pot, heavy and sealed. Inside, he found something truly remarkable, a collection of valuable items, shining brightly. He immediately understood that he had found a treasure, hidden away long ago, forgotten by its original owner. The farmer carefully covered the treasure again, making sure its location remained a secret. He then left the field and returned home, his mind filled with a new purpose. He began to make plans to sell everything he owned, his house, his livestock, his tools, and all his personal possessions. He was making a profound decision, taking a great risk, driven by the knowledge of what lay hidden beneath the earth in that field. This decision was not an easy one. It meant giving up everything he had worked for, his familiar life, and his sense of security. Selling his home and his belongings required immense conviction and a strong belief in the greater value of the treasure he had discovered. It was a significant challenge, not of physical strength, but of heart and mind, to part with all that was familiar for something unseen by others. The turning point came when the farmer successfully sold all of his possessions. He gathered the money from these sales, a substantial amount, and then set out to purchase the field where the treasure lay hidden. This act demonstrated his deep commitment to what he had found, showing that he truly understood its immense worth. He was now ready to acquire the field, moving from a tenant farmer to a landowner. Immediately following the sale of his possessions, the farmer used all the money he had acquired to buy the entire field. The transaction was completed, and the land, with its secret treasure, now legally belonged to him. He was no longer just working on someone else's property. He was the rightful owner of both the field and the precious discovery within it. Over time, the farmer's life changed completely. With the field and its treasure now secured, he possessed a new kind of wealth and stability. He had traded his previous life for something far more valuable, something that would provide for him and his family for many years to come. The field, once just a place of labor, became a source of great fortune, and his future was transformed. From this story, we can learn a simple but important lesson. Sometimes, when we discover something of true and lasting value, it may require us to make significant choices and sacrifices. It teaches us about recognizing what is truly important and being willing to give up lesser things for something that is far greater and more enriching. And so, the farmer lived with his remarkable discovery, having understood the immense value of what he had found. His story gently reminds us to consider what treasures might be hidden, waiting to be recognized, in our own lives, and what we might be willing to do to secure them.